Tonight we continue our series on e-gaming as we profile the Tiffin Dragons and two scholarship athletes on that team from Northwest Ohio. BCSN photojournalist Jason Ozenbaugh with their story.
Our first game is League of Legends, which is probably the most popular esport right now. That's the one that you hear a lot about on ESPN. You see at record-setting arena attendances, all those kinds of things. It's a 5 versus 5 MOBA, which is multiplayer online battle arena. Think of it as kind of each team trying to kill the other team's base. And then Counter-Strike and Overwatch are both your first-person shooters in different elements. Overwatch is more objective-based. There are kind of escort the payload kind of things, or capture the point, kind of like a King of the Hill style. And then Counter-Strike is more attack and defend a bomb site.
For the League of Legends team, we'd come in every day at 2 o'clock, and we'd practice all the way up till roughly 7. So we'd be putting in hours, playing as a team together in games. We would focus on our mechanics of the game, communication, and executing like how we successfully gain a win. Just like any sport, communication is completely key. And then when you're playing split-second decision making, you just have to make snap decisions like that all the time. Whether it's the right one or not, you just got to follow through with it, and your team just has to trust you.
Depending on which type of match you want, there's bots where you go by against the AIs versus real people. And of course, when you play real people, their intentions are totally different. Like, they can be strictly kill, kill, kill. They work on teamwork, get as many buffs as you can, try to get to like any protective barriers that the opposite team has. Try to, if that's your main goal, go straight and push your lane. As for bots, the bots are kind of computerized, so you don't really know how they're going to be. But I think between the two, you'll probably be more nervous towards the real people, especially if they don't play fair and they don't have good sportsmanship.
Currently, we're in 3 different leagues. One of the big ones that everybody will immediately know is the TESPA League, which is for Blizzard games. So that's what our Overwatch team is in. The Collegiate Star League is one of the older leagues out. That's one that our Counter-Strike varsity team plays in, and our League of Legends JV team plays in. And then the Battlefy League is what's turned in from ULOL, the University League of Legends, and that's kind of tossed off by Riot, and they handle it now, and that's what our varsity League of Legends team plays in. Our matches are a little bit different in the aspect that coaches can't actually talk with players in-game, which I think is far different from other coaching atmospheres. I did coach college tennis, where obviously during the matches, or any sport for that matter, you're able to kind of coach the students as things go on, but we're only able to talk to them before and after, which can pose a little bit of a challenge. All our matches currently are played from this facility. We have looked at traveling to some LAN tournaments, which we are going to do in the future, but it was kind of a first-year base to see how everything went along, and we were super happy with how everyone performed. Being in different leagues is a bit of a challenge. We do hope that as we move to another conference that we're able to treat it just like a traditional sport, in that we have conference play. We get different schools within our conference to hop on board, have an esports team, and then you treat it just like any other sport where you play different schools in your conference each week. You have a conference championship, you travel around to different arenas. We also want to host a tournament as well, have something big, use our Heminger Center next door, use this facility. But all of those are kind of the up-and-coming ideas of Tiffin University esports.
When you play esports, it's dedication. It's not like you go to the weight room and you lift and for an hour and stuff like that, and you gain muscle and then you're stronger the next day. It's a mental game just as much as it is like physical. A lot of people probably don't understand how exhausting physically it could be, just having to put your brain on 100% to focus on how to win a game, like a problem, like solving a puzzle.
One of the things that we compare our games to is a game of chess. Every time your opponent makes a move, you have to know what 5 moves are available to you, which one's the best and why. And you have to be able to calculate and do all those things within a second or two. And if you're too late, then that might cost your team the game. And those are one of the reasons that we love competitive esports, because while there is always a right answer, it's not always super clear. And when you're in game, you can't rely on your coach to tell you what the answer is. So being able to train these students, to teach them to be able to problem solve and figure these things out as fast as possible is really a cool thing to watch.
I think just knowing that a school actually is accepting to the gaming community, and that not many people who were like mostly independent or they don't like going out in the world per se, just knowing that they can come somewhere, make friends that have similarities, make a big family, and just be comfortable in their own skin, that they can be who they want to be and do whatever their likes are, like gaming, sports, anything, and just being human is the most important thing.
For me to represent Tiffin, just honestly makes me ecstatic that I get to just play for a team and show my pride. I really appreciate this school and what it's done for me. I've grown, I've found many friends. You know, honestly, this is going to be a huge chapter in my life.
Jason Ozabal once again putting that story together and the entire series together. And how interesting is that? I mean, you just listen to those guys, and it sounds like a regular varsity program of any sport. They got a JV team as well, and traveling to different schools and different arenas, hosting tournaments. Every week, we learn a little bit more. Fantastic, and we wish them down at Tiffin the very best.